In a quiet diner, on an ordinary afternoon, a young waitress delivered a bill to a wealthy businessman. He glanced at the check, then froze. His hand trembled, and the glass he held slipped, shattering on the floor. What he saw wasn't just numbers. It was a handwritten signature. A name he knew, a name he could never forget. The waitress leaned closer and said, "Sir, this is my mother's signature." What followed uncovered decades of secrets, betrayal, and an unexpected truth. To understand this story, we need to step back. This isn't just about a waitress. It isn't just about a billionaire chief executive officer. It's about the intersection of two very different lives. One built on power and money, the other built on quiet strength and survival. The billionaire at the center of this story was known for his influence. His company held contracts across industries. His name appeared in news reports and finance magazines. He was the type of leader who commanded boardrooms with a single word. On the other side was the waitress. She worked double shifts to help her family. She was polite but firm, never letting disrespect slide. Her mother, though absent in this moment, carried a quiet legacy, and that legacy was about to collide with the billionaire's world in the most unexpected way. The scene begins in a small-town diner. The waitress, like many workers in service industries, managed multiple tables at once. She balanced trays of coffee. She remembered orders without writing them down. She smiled at regulars. She remained calm even when rushed. That day, a group of suited men walked in. At their center sat the billionaire. He wasn't used to being unnoticed, but here in this diner, he was just another customer. The waitress served them without recognition. She poured coffee. She set down plates. She placed a check at the end of the meal. The billionaire reached for it. He scanned the paper casually. Then his eyes stopped. At the bottom was a name, written in elegant script. A name he knew. A name he could never forget. The waitress leaned closer and said, "Sir, this is my mother's signature." The billionaire leaned back. His expression shifted from confusion to disbelief. This wasn't possible, he thought. That name, it belonged to someone from his past, someone he had tried to forget. The waitress explained. The diner wasn't just a workplace. It had once been her mother's. Her mother had signed receipts, checks, and contracts. Her handwriting was everywhere in the building. The waitress often kept her mother's touch alive by adding her signature to bills and notes. The billionaire listened, silent. His mind raced back decades. Years earlier, before his rise to power, he had crossed paths with a woman. She wasn't wealthy, she wasn't from his world, but she was brilliant, determined, and fearless. They had worked together briefly. She had helped him in ways he never admitted publicly. She had ideas that shaped his first deals. She had stood by him when he was untested. But then their worlds split apart. He rose. She remained behind. Now, decades later, her name appeared before him in a diner. The waitress noticed his silence. She asked if something was wrong. He whispered, almost to himself, "I knew your mother." She frowned. She didn't believe him first. But his voice carried weight. He remembered details, small ones only a real connection could explain. Her mother's favorite pen, the way she looped her letters, the way she always insisted on signing her full name. The waitress grew still. She realized he wasn't lying. Somehow, this billionaire had been part of her mother's hidden past. This moment wasn't just about shock. It raised bigger questions. Who was the mother really? Why had she kept her connection to the billionaire a secret? What did it say about wealth, memory, and power that such a detail could bring a powerful man to his knees. The billionaire had built his empire on ambition, but here, in front of a waitress, he was reminded of humility. He was reminded that his past was not just his own. It was tied to others, people without power, money, or recognition. The waitress, meanwhile, saw her mother's life in a new light. Her mother wasn't just a figure in the background. She had been part of a much larger story. In the weeks that followed, conversations continued. The billionaire returned to the diner more than once. He asked questions about the mother. He listened to stories. He learned about struggles, about resilience, about sacrifice. The waitress kept her composure. She didn't treat him differently. She didn't flatter him. She simply told the truth. For the billionaire, it was a reckoning. For the waitress, it was a moment of recognition. This story isn't just about a billionaire's shock in a diner. It's about the hidden threads that connect lives. It's about how the past never fully disappears. It's about the power of ordinary people to shape extraordinary destinies. A waitress, standing firm, reminded a billionaire that signatures carry weight. They are more than ink. They are legacies. They are stories etched into paper connecting generations. And in that diner, with a single name on a bill, an empire was reminded of its roots. Sometimes the most powerful revelations don't come in boardrooms. They come in diners, on scraps of paper, signed with a name that refuses to be forgotten.